Well,
all right, you watching this? Here it goes. Oh, you see that? One finger salute. You're number one. Welcome back. There's no civility in Congress anymore, not even at a charity baseball game. This is from the Congressional Ball Game last night to raise money for good causes. And here's California Democrat Linda Sanchez flipping off her Republican colleagues, and the Democrats went on to lose anyway. For more on this, let's bring in a political analyst, good friend of the show, Mark Halperin. Mark, what do you make of this?
I salute you. Note the finger I'm using. Look, at a night
right back
meant
at
for
you.
civility, a night meant for civility, that was not my favorite move. She says something was said to her. Well, I haven't been able to get to the bottom of that, whether it happened or not. Obviously, if something was said to her that was inappropriate, that's inappropriate too. But you'd like to think a member of Congress could exercise a little restraint when they're standing on a field in front of all those people. And I'm not sure about the tender mercies of C-SPAN viewers, but that was carried live. And somewhere Brian Lamb is tisking.
Mark, let's talk a little bit about what's really going on now. I think Joe Biden with this whole, can you help us out here? Are they really that arrogant to think we're that stupid that they can change the definition of recession just because it doesn't suit their narrative and it's their turn to be in power?
Eric, maybe you remember an analog for this. I really don't. Obviously, all administrations spin, all of them try to shape events and try to ward off bad economic news. But I don't remember an administration making such a concerted effort to change a basically accepted definition and to focus more, in some days it appears, on thinking about and talking about claiming we're not in a recession than offering up new ideas to deal with it. So I think a lot of the people involved in this spin effort are going to look back and probably regret how much time and attention they spent trying to convince the American people, who are you going to believe, our spin or your own wallets?
Or your don't believe your lying eyes, as the phrase goes. Yeah. You know, we had KJP, Corinne Jean-Pierre, saying that, oh, we have a plan. You know, she said it from the briefing room. We have a plan, but it's the Republicans are holding it. What plan do they have, Mark? Can you help me out here? I'm not trying to be partisan here, but if you got a plan, for God's sake, when are you going to start implementing it? Because we're kind of suffering in the grocery aisle and in the gas pump.
You know, I think part of the challenge the country has is that we elected a president without a great deal of history on talking about the economy in a persuasive way. Joe Biden was chair of the Judiciary Committee, chair of the Foreign Relations Committee. Those are not committees that deal with the economy. Many people around him have said for a long time that the economy is not his strong suit. And look, the reality is stagflation, whether we're in full-on stagflation or not, it tests the mental acuity of even the smartest economists. How do you simultaneously deal with a slowing down economy and inflation? And it would test the best minds. I think a lot of people, including a lot of Democrats who want Joe Biden to succeed, would say he might be better off bringing some people in the administration who've actually worked in the real economy, because you're going to need some pretty agile decision making to get this done.
Right. You know, Trump spent his years as a businessman, and, you know, he must be going, hey, you missed me yet? And you know, they are being bailed out, so to speak, Mark, right now, because we haven't really hit stagflation because the unemployment rate is low, and there is demand for employment. God forbid if that turns, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole hell of a lot of pain for the economy. My question now is, so Democrats, they seem to be going, yeah, the economy, but what about this January 6th stuff? Is it a wise move? Do they think they're going to win some seats because they're going to call out Trump for January 6th? Is that the plan?
Well, I think they're trying different things. One plan is to talk about Trump and January 6th. One is to talk about abortion. One is to go after some of the weaker Republican candidates on a variety of things. And particularly in the Senate races, Democrats feel really enthused, and the public polling backs this up, that Senate races, as you know, Eric, make their own wind and weather. They're not as subject to the national mood as House races are. And so they're hoping to salvage the midterms as best they can through a combination of energizing their own base on some of those issues in the news and turn the topic away from inflation. That'll work in some races. I don't think it'll work overall.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it looks like this House is solidly going to go red, and then what looked like was going to be a red Senate, maybe a little maybe up in the air right now, what's going on in Pennsylvania and others. Mark Halperin, always good having you on. Appreciate your time.
Good to see you, Eric. Have a good evening.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. I want to tell you about the Patriot Gold Group. But first, let me tell you that the S&P has already lost $8.2 trillion in 2022. Did you know that? Peak inflation is not even hit despite the Fed rate hikes on groceries, on gas. You know it as well as I do. Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs are warning of another 20% drop. Inflation is winning in a knockout right now. The Fed is going to raise rates again at the end of July. Meanwhile, Goldman, Wells Fargo, and Bloomberg are all forecasting gold to surpass all-time highs. If you want to invest in gold, call 888-936-2373 now. Call the Patriot Gold Group today and ask about their no-fee-for-life IRA. Sounds like a good deal, don't it? Here's the number, 888-936-2373, 888-936-2373 for the Patriot Gold Group.